An artist on TikTok made a short video to trending audio and they essentially got canceled for it. Let's get into this entire situation. I am going to preface, some of the screenshots are going to be a little bit jank. The reason being, the original video has now been deleted. So this is the video in question. And this was then reposted by Digi Chiaki, if I'm reading their name correctly.
I am a Rorfian Zupgar.
So as you can see, the caption reads, using my friend group's humor at art school, and they're showing how their art school classmates aren't understanding the joke they made. If you see this video, you probably feel a little uncomfortable, just a little bit, because we can't help but acknowledge the very, very strong difference in the way the user, OP, portrayed herself as a conventionally attractive, slim woman, conventionally attractive features, and how the art students were portrayed in such a caricature of allegedly stereotypical art students, okay? One was drawn with spiky hair, short cropped hair in a mullet style, with small eyes that are wide set, a large nose, small mouth, and drawn to be overweight, with their low-hanging ear with gauges. The middle character is drawn with cat ears, with a short pixie cut, a peace sign t-shirt with sunken and hollow cheeks, freckles, large eyes, and buck teeth, and the character on the right is drawn as being tall and thin, hunchback, with a small mouth with acne on their face, Bayonetta-style glasses, kind of like a 5 o'clock shadow that is a bit unshaven, and small mouth that is protruding. A lot of people were not happy due to the big difference of this. But then the original creator had to go and make an apology. They changed their account username, by the way.
There was a recent video I made that got received really badly, and
I will also add, there was a bunch of people making fun of their appearance. Don't go and bully people, okay? This TikTok creator allegedly was intentionally or unintentionally making caricatures of people in their art school. And if you go and attack them for their appearance, you are only stooping as low as them.
I was going to just leave it, but now a quite big creator has made a video about my video, and they've thrown in a few extra things that I just really need to address. So for those who don't know, I made a video with this Teen Titans audio where it's like, on my planet, this is hilarious. And I had referred that to a time where I told a joke, and a certain group I told the joke, they don't find it funny. The whole TikTok was just meant to be, hey, that was embarrassing, I told the joke, they didn't find it funny, and that's it. The issue, I think, is that I had drawn the hypothetical characters unattractive, and had drawn myself attractive, although I've always stated that my persona isn't supposed to look like me, it's just a representation of me in that situation. So I can understand where the video may have gotten lost in translation and people have assumed that I thought I was better or prettier.
There are times where your persona is somewhat reflective of you. It is called a persona for, in a way, a reason. There is some elements that you are projecting onto that character. Maybe it is funnier than who you are. Maybe you are introverted, but your persona is extroverted. But a lot of times there is some sort of slight self-insert into the persona. I am not making any accusatory statements here, but I do not want that to be lost.
But that was definitely not my intention at all. Alright, so now that you know what the video was about, what the message I tried to convey, I need to address what other people were saying and kind of correct it. One big thing that genuinely is starting to bother me is that people have brought up transgender people and neurodivergent people, and people of color also, although they were just quick little doodles, they were all white, so if that makes anything better. None of them were labeled as neurodivergent, trans, or really anything. They're not really they were only labeled as art students, really. And since a big creator has made a video and then used the words trans and neurodivergent and made it seem like I was making fun of those kind of people, a lot of people obviously believe what they see and run with it, and it's just not true, like, at all. The TikTok I made wasn't necessarily to make fun of anybody either. That's just how I saw it. I just thought, in a way, I'm poking fun at myself because I'm an art student as well.
Wait. I'm sorry. There's no way you unintentionally drew all of the art students like that and called it a quick little doodle. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of detail put into these characters, right? The attention to detail with the spike collar, the gauges on this character, purposely spacing the eyes so wide, purposely adding the buck teeth, the pock marks and acne marks to this character's face. I'm calling them characters because they're not allegedly based off real people. All of that is attention to detail and individual brushstrokes you as an artist had to add. It just seems like unnecessary details to add if there was no intention to make fun of people in your class in that way. That's just how I interpret this.
And the TikTok was sort of just supposed to be like, oh, I made a joke that wasn't funny.
It's supposed to be just about a joke that you made that wasn't funny. I'm gonna be real, bro. The joke in this video wasn't funny either. I'm not getting the humor here either. That's just me, though.
I drew the 3 hypothetical art students just blankly staring. That's it. I didn't make them say anything. I didn't make them do anything. And I didn't.
You had to purposely give them the stereotypical nerdier glasses. You had to purposely go out of your way to draw an anime character on their shirt. You had to draw that peace sign, the flowers in their hair, the cat ears, the sunken in cheeks. All of these are individual brushstrokes you had to add. To me, this doesn't seem like a simple little doodle, because it is a sketch, yes, but there are a lot of extra details added that if it truly were as quick or simple or as not a big deal as you are making it out to be, then it wouldn't be there. Right? Like, this guy would just be wearing a blank shirt. This person would just be wearing a blank shirt. This person may not have that spiky collar because it's a bunch of extra work to doodle that in.
I didn't say anything about them either. all I said was the TikTok line, and my plan is hilarious. I made sure to specify that the characters weren't based on anybody from my school, just in case anyone from my college did see that and think I was talking about them. I would never do anything like that. I wouldn't do that. And although those characters were made up and completely from my head, of course, everybody bases something on something. And I guess I took mine sort of off Wojaks. I guess that's the only thing I could really say that I based it off of, but I didn't have to look at reference or anybody or even think of anybody. I just thought of like stereotypes, I suppose. I will apologize for my TikTok coming off that way and malicious, even though it wasn't my intention. I'll still apologize for that.
I feel like with every single apology we get, it was not my intention. It could not be your intention, but it came off that way.
I'm not gonna apologize for the TikTok that I made because I don't know. To me, it's still funny. You know, the TikTok that I made because I don't know. To me, I suppose. I will apologize for my TikTok coming off that way and malicious, even though it wasn't my intention. I'll still apologize for that. But I'm not gonna apologize for the TikTok that I made because I don't know. To me, it's still funny.
It's not an apology if you say you're not gonna apologize. Oh boy. Add this one to our bingo list, guys.
But like I said, I will apologize for it coming off in a bad way because I can actually understand why I would. Just to clarify, I don't think I'm better than anybody. I don't think I'm prettier than anybody. I don't think I'm funnier than anybody. I never said that or stated it. And if it came off that way, I'm sorry, but it's definitely not the case. I'm not a bully and I never will be. And surprisingly enough, seeing so many people upset isn't something I really want. I didn't really want to make anybody upset about it. I just wanted people to laugh at it with me because that's why I posted it, because I thought it was funny. If you've listened, I appreciate that. And if you haven't, there's not much I can do. If you want to keep believing the assumptions you've made up, that's completely on you, but there's not much I can do from this point onwards. I'm going to continue to make my own content.
No way. She just said, bro, you're the problem. I want to be nice, but my heart is telling me to tell this creator, who is obviously not going to listen to this, sometimes in life, you just need to stop talking. But the more you talk, the deeper you dig yourself into this hole.
Keep believing the assumptions you've made up. That's completely on you, but there's not much I can do from this point onwards. I'm going to continue to make my own content, and I'm going to steer away from any kind of content that would insult anybody. So I do, once again, apologize for it coming off maliciously. And the duet if I drew you thing that I did, I actually tried to draw them more normally. Because I know that I really exaggerated those doodles, and I tried to make them into like real people when I did the do it if I drew you. So if you thought I was still trying to make fun of people with that post, I wasn't. I was actually trying to make them look a bit better. And for one last time, the girl you see in all the videos representing me isn't how I think I look. She's just a persona. I use her for everything. Sometimes I do self-inserts, and you'll see that I draw myself more accurately when I do self-inserts, but she represents me, not to say that she looks like me, or that I think she looks like me at least. There's not much more I can say. This is a 5-minute video, and I don't know if you guys will really listen to all of it, but it'll bring me peace at least, knowing that I at least explained it and said how things really were, because I don't really like people believing things that aren't true, you know? I love my fellow art students, and it was never my intention to make it seem like I was better or superior in any way. So just pointing out things one more time. If you watch the video, you can see I had told a joke, they didn't find it funny, and it was just awkward. If
you are also saying this character is allegedly supposed to be your persona and not you, it looks like the very yassified Y2K baby girl version. Does resemble them if they were a little bit more yassified. They have the exact same piercings as you, with the exception, I believe, of the eyebrow piercing, the exact same hair part down to that one strand of hair going across your face, the same style of short bangs in the front. I feel like this is one of those scenarios where you could have the intention for the character to be your persona. Not everybody is going to know every single context ever of everything that you ever draw, and when you put the two together, it does look like you. I'm gonna say this, and I'm not saying this to imply that this creator is not attractive, but it does give the vibe that you were to draw yourself. Don't get me wrong, look, we all like to present ourselves a certain type of way. Look, when I draw my persona of myself, my persona is always hot. Why would I want to draw my persona not hot if I could? As an artist, you have art skills for a reason. Of course, I'm gonna make, you know, my eyes bigger, my boobs bigger, because I can. Nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying. I do feel like it's a bit disingenuous to be like, why is everyone thinking that was me? That was my persona. When she has the exact same glasses, the exact same hairstyle, I just feel like you cannot be super surprised here if people came to the conclusion they did. To make this drama a little bit more complicated for some reason, here is this creator called Zepp, and Zeppy made a video of their version of the trend, making it a little bit more wholesome.
Am I weird? Yeah, but so what? Everybody's weird.
This is a very cute take on the trend, you know, where they drew all of the characters the way that the original creator made it, but in a very wholesome way. People that accept you even for all of your weirdnesses. This is so cute. And then they had to go and give an apology.
Zeppy here, and I'm just chiming in to give a bit of clarification on a situation that has unfolded between me and another creator. While you may have not intended to use this as a caricature of trans and neurodivergent people, it has had that effect on me independent of your intent. Because when you're depicting yourself next to them as the point of sympathy and you as the normal and more palatable expression of self, it creates an othering. And I observed that the space adjacent to your content was safe for people to demean those who go to art school based on these stereotypes. Clearly, a lot of people felt the same as I did. And on the other hand, a lot of people also saw it just as a lighthearted joke. I decided to make my video because I wanted to connect with the people who also felt uncomfortable. I was unsettled by the fact this exaggerated depiction was being acknowledged as accurate and just, not necessarily by you, but by your audience. Your content and the space you create does affect a community of people larger than what you can see and what you can interact with. Next time you want to depict other characters in your skits, please be cautious of how you might potentially be perpetuating harmful stereotypes or encouraging people to participate in them. Just because some people may see the depictions as accurate and fair doesn't mean the entire audience agrees it's harmless. I also would like to apologize. Truly, I'm deeply sorry for making an attack on your character. From your response, I can tell you're remorseful in this aspect and weren't trying to be ableist or transphobic. What I said in the description of my video was a crazy reach, completely stemming from my own perception and a huge, clumsy miscommunication on my part. As somewhat of a big opinion in the art community, I shouldn't have let my own personal feelings about your video impede on my representation of your original subject matter. And for that, I want to apologize. I would also like to publicly condemn anyone who is making derogatory comments towards you or your art based on the situation. And for my second mistake, to my audience, I did not intend to express an assumption that all ugly people are neurodivergent or trans, only to point out the connection between these unflattering caricatures with ongoing completely inaccurate stereotypes, which are harmful towards these groups of people with which I identify with. But despite my intention, I want to apologize to everyone who this miscommunication impacted and open a separate comment section to rant/vent in. How you feel is valid, and I won't be arguing or weighing in here at all, just listening, so I can learn to be more sensitive. I am a large creator, and that comes with a responsibility to be accountable and acknowledge the needs of my audience. Trans and neurodiverse people are beautiful and diverse. We don't deserve to be represented as the other by anyone, and I want to apologize to anyone who I upset by acknowledging these horrible stereotypes and giving them more attention. I hope that we can learn more sympathy, kindness, and moderation from this situation, and if you'd like to talk further and resolve this, my DMs are open on Instagram. Thank you for your own level-headed response, and I hope that everyone watching has a lovely rest of your day. Hello, it's Seppi here.
So yeah, that was the clarification. There were some screenshots here that I did not see because the video was taken down. So we're gonna see this, right? I'm gonna call them Misa because that is the only way I can really read their name. Misa, the one who made the first video in the first place, had captioned their video, "Now we're all ugly and everyone's being made fun of. Hee hee." Yes, we are all ugly. Yes, as you draw yourself as a conventionally attractive white woman. Yes. And then here in this screenshot, this is another big issue why the art community had with the post that Misa made is due to the alleged caricature of trans individuals, neurodivergent individuals, and POC in this, where they drew themselves as a conventionally attractive cis woman. They drew themselves with Eurocentric attractive features, clear skin, long straight hair, big eyes with long eyelashes, full lips, and a slim figure. And they drew all of the other characters as, in societal standards, considered unattractive. They drew them as being very thin or very overweight, having acne, unshaven face, sunken in cheeks, etc. Just that according to our society in this day and age, that is what society considers outside of the standard, what would be considered attractive. I am trying to word this in the best way possible so that my intention comes across. I am not trying to say that all trans neurodivergent POC people look like this, right? I am neurodivergent myself. I am Asian also. I am POC. We come in so many different shapes, sizes, appearances, etc. It can appear as a caricature of these individuals. It can be interpreted that way. Misa said that was not their intention. I can also see how that could maybe you were trying to make a joke and it came off super badly. We can't deny that in media, trans individuals, neurodivergent individuals, and POC have been portrayed this way by media, basically being portrayed as what is considered unattractive. But here's what a bunch of other TikTok users had to say about the situation. So going back to our original video that we were watching.
So if you've been on the internet, you've probably seen the video that I just shown, and you know, it was only a matter of time until the art community went back on this bullshit and we had another art lore story. And if it was just that, I really wouldn't feel compelled to talk about it. However, something very strange is going on here. A lot of people are trying to debate what this girl's intentions was, but it's very obvious from the get-go that she was on hater shit. Now, you know how people sometimes say, oh, you're jumping through loops to get that conclusion? Or was it hoop? I don't know. I don't remember. I don't care. People are doing the opposite in this case. They're jumping through hoops in order to avoid coming to the conclusion that she was being a hater. And like the other conclusions y'all are drawing don't even really make sense. Y'all are like, oh, she was just making fun of stereotypes. Clearly, she wasn't making fun of them. She was feeding into them. Yeah, she was feeding into stereotypes of people who go to our school being like cringy or weird or ugly, whatever. I forgot to put this in the main video, but let me add this on real quickly. I see a lot of debate about whether or not she was trying to make fun of gay people or trans people, whatever. I don't think she was intentionally trying to do that. However, people gotta realize when you're talking about quote unquote weird kids, there was a big overlap with how we see weird kids and how we see gay or neurodivergent kids a lot of the time. So obviously we have no way of telling whether that was intentional or not, but I can absolutely see why people draw those conclusions because the way that she portrayed those people has a very big overlap with how queer and neurodivergent people are portrayed in general. Like that's so obvious, and I don't even go to art school. Anybody with like more than half a brain cell should be able to tell what her end goal was. And here's the other thing, and how I know that she was on hater shit is that the joke would have been the exact same if she had just drawn them as like blank stick men or whatever.
Oh my god, on a side note, no way, the background is, oh my god, it's gonna be tomato egg. I'm getting distracted by the food in the background. My ADHD is going crazy right now. It's also 4:30 a.m. and I'm really hungry. But yes, this point that Digi made is so true because it's so unnecessary to do that. That's why you literally had to go out of your way to draw every acne, every stubble, the anime on the anime character on the shirt, the gauge. You had to go out of your way to do that. It would have been so easy if you just didn't add any of those other elements. It would have been so much easier just to not do all of that. But Misa chose to do so. That was done with intention.
because the joke is in the audio. It's the fact that they don't have the same type of humor. And here's the real gag. She does not look like the way that she draws herself, which is fine. She's still a very pretty girl, but you can't even say that that's just her art style. She did not draw herself in this hyper-realistic way, which might even have her looking more similar to the people that she's trying to make fun of. No, she drew herself in this, and I hate saying this word, but it's like self-glazed ass way. And that would be fine if she clearly wasn't trying to make fun of these other people. I'm not worried about all that. I know that she was making fun of those people. She knows that she was making fun of those people. But my thing is, why are we all of a sudden holding back? Why are we now having a conversation about what her true intentions when they're very quite obvious? When I've seen y'all make art more people with less questions asked. Like all of a sudden now we want to have think pieces. Oh no, she meant this. Oh, come on, y'all know what she meant. Don't be dumb. I hate seeing people be dumb in real time. Y'all know what she meant. She was trying to
Oh my god, on a side note though, I love Digi's personality in this video, man.
She's probably trying to make fun of the people that are even defending her. Like the ones that are writing for her right now, she's trying to make fun of y'all. She's on mean girl shit. Stop trying to fight it. She's a mean girl. That's it. End up.
And then here we have Iseed. I am so sorry. Your name is also hard for me to say. Iseed Bunny.
I made a video making fun of my fellow art students using caricatures that are eerily similar to harmful conservative depictions of trans and neurodivergent people. I also drew myself really attractive in comparison. Doesn't this show how awesome I am? I'm a trans person, and I immediately recognize these stereotypes you use. Please don't do that. What? How dare you? Who are you to say she meant to be mean? It's just a joke. She didn't mean anything by it. Hey guys, why are we pretending that this art wasn't deliberately feeding into negative stereotypes? What is going on here? Wow, everyone, thank you so much for defending me. I bet you're happy to hear I actually use slurs against queer and neurodivergent people.
Yeah, so about that, this is their private Instagram called Nabu Wabu. It is really zoomed in. It is a photo of their face. Banger. They dropped the R word. I wonder what else they're gonna say, guys. On their private Instagram, they drew it and they wrote in the R word again. This is their private Instagram page that is titled "You're Not Getting In He 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 He" with whatever emoji. And this is their Discord account writing little F slur. Wanted some hardcore anime depictions of people having a child. So I will say your argument about not being homophobic and not trying to make caricatures of neurodivergent individuals, trans individuals, gay individuals is a little bit harder to believe when you have used the R slur, the F slur, and that's what we found so far. It's a little bit harder to believe. And then Misa did this post where somebody wrote, "Can you just draw a quick thing of a plus size person? I'm struggling so hard and no one's drawings are really helping and yours honestly might. They are helping me with other stuff. Here are the drawings." And Misa writes, "I drew them both in outfits I would usually dress my persona in since any size can wear any outfit." And people also feel some type of way about it. Let me go over here to the comments. So there's a lot of people defending Misa, being like, anybody hating on you is so sensitive. Your vid was funny and accurate. Vesper is being like, TikTok is slowly turning into Twitter. People are saying that it looks gorgeous. But then we have other people who aren't happy. We have Fetus stating, "Laughing my ass off because you can't help but try to add a snatch waist. I'm dead." Misa says, "That's why I drew two bodies, one snatch, one not. I even said in the video why I gave her a small waist, but was weird, I guess." Well, I think in the video there was no mention of a small waist, why they were given a small waist, you know what I mean? It was just that I drew them in the outfit. I will say, I mean, there are some people with bodies like this, plus size, but their waist snatch to the gods. I feel like that's a pretty rare body type to find. We have this person being sarcastic, writing, "That is definitely how plus size woman looks. Slay, queen, hourglass, hashtag plus size women are only attractive if they're curvy." There is definitely a harmful notion perpetuated where you can only be, I am not saying that I think this, right? This is society being like, oh, if you're plus size, I guess we can accept you if you are snatched like Aphrodite with that slim waist, which let's be real, most people, plus size or not, do not have that type of waistline. It's just really rare. A true hourglass is like what? The statistic is like 4% of the actual population has a build like that. Caro writes, "This art is lovely, but am I the only one who feels like the snatched chest on the first girly looks odd?" But I think this point is the best one that I was trying to look for. Is this is written by Laura, writing, "So you can draw plus size people without making them look ugly. Why didn't you do that in your other video?" And Sanchi fan is like, maybe it's her video. But I will say the defense of this is my art style, whatever, does go out the window when you can draw characters this cute. But I do think this video that they posted a week ago kind of shows their sentiment.
No problem. I don't care. You are you, I'm me.
It is true, right? If you don't like somebody, you can just block them. But it just kind of shows that they weren't sorry. That's just me. That's just how I read it. I just read it as them being very unserious about this situation happening. And even though they said they apologized, they technically did it because they said they weren't sorry for the video. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. So anyways, I'm curious as your thoughts about the situation. Do you think that this creator, Misa, was trying to make caricatures of trans, neurodivergent, gay, and POC individuals? Or do you think that is just their art style? Do you think the joke was funny? I personally did not find it funny. Also do think that if you truly need to punch down and make jokes that hurt people based off of the way they look, the way they are born, or their sexual orientation, then you are not a very funny person if that is the only jokes that you can make. If you're truly funny, you can make jokes about other things that actually everybody would laugh at. But I do feel like Misa has shown that their sense of humor maybe does need a little bit of work. So if you like this video, I appreciate it if you like to subscribe. I also stream on Twitch 3 days a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, Saturdays at 6 p.m. PST. In my recent stream, we actually drew on stream for the first time in forever, and I was drawing a Catgirl made VTuber model. So anyways, I hope to see you guys there or in another one of my videos. Bye.